Good morning. You're listening to First Talk with Hal Rowe on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. We're doing an extended version this morning. Kim Dahlstein joins us this morning, Vice President of Operations and Director of Leadership Catawba, who just had a recent graduation. And we're going to talk about that this morning. And, which I think is kind of cool, we're going to meet some folks who participated in and are graduates of Leadership Catawba. Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, first of all, before we meet everybody, before we get into it, first of all, if you'd be kind enough, give us kind of the elevator speech or just a little brief description, if you would, please, of Leadership Catawba.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Leadership Catawba is the longest running program of the Chamber of Catawba County. So it just completed its 50th year.
Wow. Of
educating and empowering leaders for the future of our community. So
I'm going to interrupt this morning because you just know me and you know who that is. Did you have anybody that you know from the area and still around that was a graduate 50 years ago?
I don't know that I can say that, but we had our 50th class reunion this summer, and we had 26 different classes that were represented.
Right, I saw that.
Yes,
I saw the 50th anniversary. I saw some pictures. So it's like, that person's not even 40 years old. Right.
So there may be, so if someone's listening and you graduated in one of those first classes, please let us know. We'd love to connect with you.
So anyway, 50 years old.
Yes, it is wonderful. So yes, we take emerging leaders. We allow them to have those opportunities, connect with community leaders, collaborative partners, subject matter experts, so that they can learn more about their community and know where they want to lean in for the future. Very good. So that's just a very brief description of what happens, but so much happens day in and day out, year in and year out. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Would you like to introduce our guest this morning? I would be happy to. Mike Stevens. He is the tax senior manager at Smith Leonard PLLC. Okay. And he just has a few things. We divided some questions amongst everybody just because they had some areas that they were really passionate about when we did our wrap up. So, hello,
very
Mike
good.
Stevens.
Yeah, I see the questions here. But before we get to your questions, again, you know me.
I do.
So, Mike Stevens, great to have you with us this morning. Where are you from?
Thank you. Actually from Cleveland, Ohio. That's
Cleveland,
where I was
Ohio.
born and raised.
Okay.
And have moved around quite a bit. So we've settled in Catawba County. We've been here about 4 years.
Okay, so you say we. Is that you and the wife?
Wife and 3 kids.
3 kids. Very good. Now, Cleveland, did you say? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up in that area when you were there?
That's right. Yep, been there a few times.
Okay, very good. Now, tell me a little bit about your career. Tell me a little bit about your job.
Sure. So I work for Smith Leonard. We're a public accounting firm.
Slow that down a little bit. You work for who?
Smith Leonard, PLLC.
There you go. We want to make sure that we get that in for them. We want to make sure that we give them that free ad. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Are you having a busy tax season?
Yeah, we're in the thick of it for sure.
Now, are you doing individual taxes? Do you do corporate? What type of taxes are you involved with?
We do it all. So we do corporate work, we do partnerships, individuals, estates.
Individuals.
We do it all. Yep.
Okay. And so if I brought you the stuff I got in a box out in my truck, now just kidding. We won't do that to you. So what makes Leadership Catawba different from other leadership programs? Have you done other leadership programs?
Yeah, I've been involved in various ones through, organizations I've been with, or just other opportunities I've had. It is truly unique in that there were many sessions where we got to grow our own personal leadership style and understand what kind of leader we are, what are our basic personality traits. But then the program takes it to the next level and teaches you how to take what you are and bring it to the community, and where you might be a strength to a program, to a charity, any type of community involvement, kind of helps you decide where you'd be a good fit.
I did not realize this. I thought this was more just taking emerging leaders and kind of introducing them to different areas of the community. I did not know that you were actually able to bring the personal part of your leadership style and what you may have already learned about leadership. I did not realize that they did this. So it's community leadership instead of just the personal leadership development. So you bring all those different aspects into Leadership Catawba.
That's right. You're getting it all. And it makes us more well-rounded leaders, because I think to lead, you need to understand who you are and what your greatest attributes are and where your weaknesses are, where your blind spots are.
Wow.
And this just helps. It was just a great experience. And with the 36 other classmates, so many different personalities, when we were doing the personality testing, you could see we're all just so different. Yeah. But we were able to come together and get projects done, work together to achieve goals. It was a great experience.
Well, now tell me this. How does this change the way that you see the community? And maybe motivated you to get more involved outside of your professional role, outside of the tax time. We know tax time, nothing, right?
Nothing.
Taxes, right. Yeah,
That's
gotcha.
Right.
But when you're not doing the tax part, tell me a little bit about how that's changed, how it's changed you as a person, as a professional.
Yeah, as we talked about not being from here, I just didn't know what was here.
Right.
And it has really been a game changer for me to open my eyes and understand the people we have here, all the businesses we have, the educational systems, all of that CVCC is doing, all that Catawba County Schools through their CET program are doing. It's just amazing to see what Catawba County can offer right now.
We're talking about Leadership Catawba this morning. We just talked with Mike Stevens, who participated in Leadership Catawba, a graduate. Kim Dahlstein, you've got the honors this morning of bringing up our next guest. If you would please introduce another member of Leadership Catawba graduate. Let's find out a little bit about them.
Excellent. Happy to. So Charlotte Page is the executive assistant with Green Park Dentistry. And she is also just a recent graduate, as you said. So she is joining us this morning as well.
Charlotte Page, nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
There
It's good to be here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Columbus, Georgia.
And how long have you been in the area?
I have been here since 2018.
2018. Now, did you move from Columbus right to?
No, I have moved. I was a summer camp director for many, many years in Brevard.
Really?
And then I moved to Hickory.
A summer camp
Yes.
director. You tell me if you don't mind. So did you have trouble plugging in? Did you?
A little bit.
Right.
A little bit. You know, I arrived at the beginning of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a bit
Yeah.
of a challenge trying to find my path forward when everything was shut down.
Well, tell me about some of those community challenges and strengths. Tell me about Leadership Catawba and how that kind of opened your eyes and how it inspired you. Have you taken some actions since being in the city?
I have.
Tell me about it.
It's been tremendous. So Green Park Dentistry, where I work,
Yeah, Green
year-
Park Dentistry.
That's correct.
Located right at the Green Park neighborhood.
Correct. Well, we
Okay.
just moved. We're on 4th Street,
Oh, okay.
across from Fork Restaurant.
Oh,
so we're still
really?
on 4th, but just a little closer into Viewmont.
Okay, good deal.
But we kept the name.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm glad you came in this morning. I did not know you had moved.
That's right.
And we'll make sure that
Come
Green
see
Park.
us. It's a beautiful spot.
There you go. Green Park Dentistry will make sure that we get the bill to the administrative
Perfect.
folks. Right.
Perfect.
So tell me a little bit about what you've become involved in since Leadership Catawba.
Sure. So, like I said, when I arrived, I wasn't sure how to get connected. I found it a little bit difficult to know who to reach out to. And through my work and my boss
Right.
being part of Leadership Catawba the previous year,
Okay.
I was encouraged to take part. And it was mind-blowing to me that all of these things were here in our county. I wouldn't leave a session that I didn't want to call 5 people and tell them, did you know we have this?
Yeah,
did you know
it's
we
pretty
have
cool,
this?
right? Yeah.
And it enabled me to see where I could plug in and where we at Green Park could plug in with the community. And we're working really hard to do that. I think it also showed me that one of the challenges is that people don't know we have all these things.
Sure.
We want to help people see that Hickory is a place to come to stay, not just a stepping stone to the next place,
Right.
but a place where you could really make a difference because we're small enough that you can get involved with things that you probably couldn't.
What have you been involved with? Tell me, do you have any personal experience of anything that you've plugged into or done since then? Or maybe it's something you're looking at?
Yeah, well, I've started volunteering. That was one of the things. I volunteer with hospice now.
Oh, cool. Great organization. Yeah.
Because of what I do at Green Park, I'm not involved in the dentistry side. I'm more involved with the culture
Right.
and the sort of outward
Sure.
in the community things.
I understand.
So things like the chamber golf tournament or the women's leadership conference, things like that, where
You'll be
through
getting plugged
those I've
into
made
those.
connections. Helping with those events has been wonderful and also helps me see that this community is filled with people who care and really want to contribute to make Hickory become better and better.
A big benefit from your investment of your time.
Correct.
I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning and hang out. Ms. Dahlstein, would you please introduce our final guest this morning?
Absolutely. So Kalia Vang is the administration system coordinator at Corning, and she is our final guest here, but again, also a graduate of this most recent program. So we're happy to have her here.
Ms. Vang, thanks so much for joining us. And now I found out a little bit before we came on the air. So born and raised in Fresno. How long you been here?
In Hickory,
Right.
It's been 12 years.
Okay, so and you moved around so then a little bit from the time that you were born over there. You've lived a couple other places. You told me a small town, Albemarle, is that right?
Albemarle, in Stanley County.
In Stanley County.
It's about
Okay.
an hour and 30 minutes from here.
So now tell me a little bit about your job.
So I'm the administration assistant. I do a lot of coordination with the 3 plants. So I
Okay.
hop around the 3 Catawba County plants we have here, the one in Trivium, Newton, and Hickory, but mainly the Newton location.
Did you make some connections? I mean, you got now you know where to get
Yes.
your taxes done, and if you need anything done dentistry wise, you got them sitting right here. These are the people you're going to go with. But tell me about some of the other connections that you made in your leadership journey.
Yes, so I made a lot of connections with the HR team. With my role, I also kind of help with the HR and kind of keeping the morale boosted in the company. So it kind of helped with kind of knowing how other company function and how they worked.
Right.
And so we could kind of combine efforts. And also knowing all the nonprofit organization, and so that we could kind of, because this is April. April is our community service month. So we do a lot of community service. And so I've gotten connections with like the Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, good, yeah.
And so the Hickory Soup Kitchen. And
Oh, so you met Austin Pierce.
I haven't met Austin Pierce yet.
But that's okay. You will. Because if you're working with the Hickory Soup Kitchen, that's one of the people that you will meet.
Yes, it's this week, actually.
Oh, good. Well, you tell Austin we said hi. 36 emerging leaders from the area, all different organizations, different backgrounds. Not a lot of people from Fresno, California, probably in the area. So tell me a little bit about that. Those differences kind of helped among all the participants and maybe made your experience a little bit better because you met people different than you.
Yes. So it brought different perspective and views of how everybody grew up differently. Everybody also comes from different backgrounds. And so it kind of made me feel like, oh, I could belong in this community because, I bring something different and I have a different view, different background. And so it forces us to kind of connect on a professional business level and leadership level, even though I feel like, in my role, I'm not in a leadership role, but I am a supporting role in the leadership. So it's brought a lot of, it took me out of my comfort zone. So it's brought me out of my shell.
And you're right. I think that, and I don't think we have to, this is just my opinion. I don't think we have to put any titles or any, we don't have to name it, but I think it's always good when we get to meet and talk with different folks. You get to meet with somebody where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, right?
Yeah.
And you probably gets that like all the time, right? And it's like, oh, you're a director at a summer camp. I went to summer camp, and here's my summer camp, and here's my experiences, right? And you get to hear all that. So it is, and like I said, I don't like putting names on our title, but it's great to be able to mix and mingle with a lot of different folks. And something you said, it makes me feel really good. It's like, yeah, I think I could belong here. And even though you were born and raised in Fresno, and maybe you got a different job, still very welcoming and able to do that, and able to communicate with other leaders. And don't ever think of you are a leader. You are a leader. Whatever.
I feel like a leader now. Right?
There you go. Well, I want to thank you very much, all of you, for joining us this morning here on an extended version of Chamber Chat from your Catawba County Chamber of Commerce. We've been talking about Leadership Catawba this morning. Thank you all for taking the time to join us.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you.